Hey guys, it's Amber, and I'm getting ready to work on day 2 of my Week in the Life album. So I've got my transparency here. I'm going to go ahead and pull out all the product. I've got my photos printed and ready to go. I had talked to you guys last video for day 1 about changing these to have stars behind them. I went ahead and did that for my first one. So I just want to get a little peek about how that looked backed with the white paper. I think that looks really good. And I went ahead and did all the rest of the weeks in advance, or the rest of the days in advance, I'm trying to say. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull everything out. That way I can put the album away, get started. So to give you an idea of how many fewer photos I have for today, my day 1 for Monday, which always has more photos, was 8 printed pages. This is only 5. I didn't have any that I felt were strong enough to be enlargements. So I'm just sticking with the 4x6s, 4x4s, and the 10x4s. Sorry, I had to think about that size for a moment. And then I'm going to cut up another one of these 9x12 page 3x4 pocket page transparencies to create a 6 pocket page protector again. So let me just go over my photos here with you. I created a little, sorry, I'm trying to get stuff out of the way here. I had a bunch of photos in the morning, so Tuesday was off from work, so I got to sleep in a little bit, but our normal routine is that the cats will wake me up. So I've got a picture of one of the kitties at the top of the stairs, feeding her, and then her kind of just sitting on the table looking really cute. So I did 2x4s to make one 4x6 photo. After breakfast, Sophie cried and climbed into bed with us, and that's actually my boyfriend Jarrett petting him. I'm not going to show photos of him sleeping or in bed. Obviously, he'd be furious with me, but that was like a great way to showcase him. And then Sophie hanging out and snuggling after the fact. Lots of morning sleeping in bed photos. One of me kind of getting ready for the day. And I had one more of me kind of laying in bed. It was actually taken like I was expecting to do a 3x4 vertical this way, but I ended up flipping it and turning it to a 6x4 this way, which worked out well for the dimensions and for the fact that I needed it to be that size. So for lunch I went actually to McDonald's. So I put our food all in a lineup and took a shot down. I was lighting a candle, so I thought that was cool how you could see, I don't know if you can tell, the lighter with the flame right before being lit. I had a dental appointment. Here I did my 3 things for the food that I'm going to do on this card here, the 4x4. Then I have a couple of shots to go in the 10x14 here. This is from our Ring camera. This was the guys mowing the lawn that come to do our landscaping. It's a shot of my office. It's actually to my right of my desk, but I was up there for a while on my days off. I usually stay out of Jarrett's way and stay quiet because he works from home. I also went to CVS and got updated COVID vaccine booster. I'm going to be traveling some, so took a shot of the CVS and then of my arm. And then that was another shot from the dentist. I had forgotten to do my Wordle on Monday, but I'll have a Wordle for the rest of the week. So my Wordle, and this one I didn't even solve, so I was frustrated. My weather screenshot. And then this photo here will be the one that goes on the back of this card. So I just picked something that I could do a strong vertical. Some shots of me doing the dishes and sweeping. Tiger Lily eating dinner. And then Tuesday was April 25th, so I printed out the meme from Miss Congeniality that says describe your perfect date, and it says it's a tough one. I'd have to say April 25th because it's not too hot and not too cold. All you need is a light jacket. So I'm going to put that next to the weather screenshot. It just makes me laugh. So like I said, I didn't really have any photos that could have been a huge screenshot. This could have been a full page photo. This could have been a full page photo, but I also needed photos to be this size. So I kind of had to sacrifice some for this day. So I've got my timeline already printed out. I still need to print my journaling for this. I need to stamp the breakfast, lunch, and dinner on here. Find places for all these little embellishments to go. And then I need to find a pocket, either 3x4 or 4x6, to put this. I need to find a little spot to put some of this to help coordinate. And then I'm considering putting my paperwork that I had saved from being at the dentist's office in here. I just thought it'd be fun to have something to kind of open. And I also want to see if there's anything from here that I can cut out and do. If I can do one of the days of the week plus another one of these, that would be good. So we'll see what I get to. So I'm going to get all my photos cropped out, start getting them into place. I need to cut this page protector down and cut new holes for it because it's a 4-hole, obviously. And a lot of this will be repeats of the Monday video, so it shouldn't be nearly as long, but I'm excited to see how it comes out.
Okay friends, so the first thing I'm doing here is chopping down that page protector, and off screen I'm going to punch the extra holes here, so I'm finishing that. And now I'm just getting myself set up here, so pulling out all the embellishments, getting everything lined up so that I can remember to use everything that I want to. So I'm going to start with the 4x4 and 4x6 page protector, and for the majority of this video, you're going to see that Tuesday card on the front page, but that's going to end up flipping to the back side. But I don't make that decision for a while, so you're going to see that here for quite some time. And I think I decided to leave off the single photo of my cat because I realized that it's one that I can use any day, and I had several photos of us in bed, and I basically had forgotten that I had that Tuesday card, so I had like one 4x6 photo too many, basically. So just jumping into the 10x4s, just deciding which one I want to go where. Like, you know, you kind of have to get ones that sort of look good together, I guess. But I think even those change a little bit. I have to try to remember now. I'm doing the voiceover a couple days later. So it's funny, you're going to see me organize these in a weird way. I'm laying out all the photos, pairing them together, and then just kind of rearranging. So I'm kind of looking at the colors. So like there's a lot of blue in some of them. I'm pairing the weather photos together, pairing the nighttime photos together, and then like they're warmer, so I won't put them on the back. And then I remember I want to have a see-through pocket. So I'm trying to arrange them in a way to have a see-through pocket, and then I also I keep trying to use these same couple cards from the Now kit. I'll get them eventually when I'm shorter on photos. But I'm going to end up using pattern paper instead at some point. Spoiler alert there. So just getting these all tucked into the pockets. These pretty much aren't going to change except for the couple changes I just mentioned. So just looking for a good piece of the pattern paper where there's some teal blue. And that Tuesday is really transparent and actually kind of hard to see. So I'm going to end up backing that on some white paper, and that will help it pop and stand out a little bit more against the transparency. And I'll do the same thing with the pie chart one that goes on the back, just to help it be more solid looking. So just kind of figuring out where all the little embellishments are going to go, but there you can barely see the Tuesday. So here I'm just using my scissors to chop these up so I can tuck those into the 4x4 pocket that they're going to be going into when I get to that point eventually. I'm just kind of flipping through and looking at my flow here. I had pulled out that chipboard set there, knowing I had that little kind of medical looking little chipboard piece, so I wanted to make sure I didn't forget to use it. And like I said, just trying to figure out the homes for all these little embellishments that I decided I wanted to put on every day. So I originally tucked that vellum heart onto the 4x4 photo, but I'm going to end up using it on the 4x6 photo. And see here, what else am I working on? It's going to kind of bounce around here as I keep moving forward. So I'm obviously jumping to adding my sticker paper timeline here to this card. It was just slightly longer than it needed to be, so I wanted to start from the top so that 'cause it just barely fit. And I'm just going to add 1/8 inch sticker tape around the outside. Now I'm going to peel that off, add the photo, and trim around the edges with just my scissors. Generally, that's how I do it. I don't usually use a trimmer for this kind of stuff. I just find it easier to use the edge of the other photo or the card to, like a guide kind of, that the scissors just kind of glide against. And then I'm just going to repunch those holes with my 6-hole punch. And I've really been liking the look of the little bit of pattern paper along the edge. So I'm going to, oops, actually, sorry, forgot I'm embellishing first. So just trying to pick a little flower chipboard here to stick in the corner, just keeping consistent with the design. I might change that up at some point, but for now I'm just trying to put in a little extra color and design here and there, try to kind of pull the flowers through. Here's where I'm going to add that 1/8 inch tape and add that little bit of color. It just really adds something, having a tiny little border on there. So I'm just going to peel that off, and I'm actually using the extra piece at the bottom there to trim. And really happy with how that looks, especially against that strong black and white photo. It's so cute. So now I'm just taking a look at where we're at again and what else I still need to do. So I wanted to pick a little tag to go with it, and I spotted one that I'm going to use. That's that green one there. And it's hard to tell, but I did grab my paper piercer. I think it kind of just speeds right through it. I punched a hole, and then I'm just going to use a tiny, tiny little star brad. These are from Recollections from Michaels. And since it's not inside a page protector, I'm using red line tape, both just to keep the brad arms in place and just to stick it down. So it looks like overkill, but just so that it's not going anywhere. So I'm just going to get that in place. And here's where I added that white pattern paper, sorry, not pattern paper, just plain white printer paper to those circles to help them really pop, and you can see what a difference that makes. And just going through my chipboard stash that I had already kind of set aside, and decided to use the Home Life there. And that Bring on the Chores is a really old Week in Life set, as you can see there. Trying to just stash bust a lot on this one and just pull from old sets that I have. And then here is a chipboard set from the Rest Kit, and you're going to see me put this hashtag day off on, but that photo is going to end up moving to the front. And it's on the outside of the page protector, so I can just peel it right off, which is great. So here you can see I'm just using that foodie stamp set to stamp breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm using VersaFine ink. It's one of my favorites for detail stamps. I just find it gets you really nice, crisp results. You can see me there cleaning off my stamps. I'm just using Stays-On spray and a paper towel, and I find that that gets my stamps like super clear. Sometimes actual Stays-On will stain them, but for the most part, it works really great. It doesn't really leave any lint because the paper towel is pretty wet. So just getting all those stamped in. Cleaned off. And then I'm going to get the little tiny photos added. So I'm just going to use rolling adhesive for those since it's going to be inside a page protector. And I probably don't mention this anywhere else, but this is a different color 4x4 block than I had originally picked for this day. Not a big deal to change, obviously. It was just something where I was like, I had strong blue, greens, and yellows in this, and so when I flipped through, I was like, this one will be much better looking for these food photos than any other day. So I just switched it with another day. and I'm really happy with that choice. And now I'm grabbing this chipboard label. That's from that same 6x8 set with all the circles that say like work life, home life, the details. I just threw in one color every day that kind of coordinated with that day's color. Somewhere where I thought I could add journaling that would be different. And so far I'm really liking how these little titles look. So I just am using those Heidi Swap puffy stickers to spell lunch for two. And normally I would love to put chipboard on the outside of a page protector, but with those stickers I'm worried about them falling off, so I'm putting them on the inside. It does make it pucker, but I'm just making that choice. Next I have cut out a 3x4 piece of pattern paper there, and I'm adding another tag with a brad, and I happened to find one that had both a sentiment and a color that really matched well. So happy with that. And I decided just to give it some dimension by popping it up on some foam squares. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to pop those, peel those backings off and put that in place. And that's inside the page protector as well. I could have done it on the outside. It would have stuck down pretty well, but I don't think it'll really make a difference. And then here I'm doing this little embellishment cluster on this photo here. I wanted to use one of those half circles, but I've been having a hard time placing them. So I kind of combined it with the Tuesday card there. I think I switched some things around here from my original plan, which is totally fine. And added that Tuesday tag chipboard to the landscaping photo instead. So I added another brad there. And I briefly thought about adding foam squares behind this one, but since it has the chipboard, I didn't feel like it needed to be higher, so just used regular sticky tape for that. So doing another thing here where I'm adding another tiny little strip of this pattern paper, because the stories cards for each day of the week are only 10 inches, they're a 1/4 inch short, so it just adds a little pop of color and fills in that space so I don't have to cut that photo down, which is something I had mentioned on Monday's video. Added my journaling here, picked a really nice bright pop of color, which I love. So I'm just peeling back a tiny bit of that sticker paper. I like to be able to try to hold it against the other paper the paper along the sides, so I can make sure it's lined up straight, and then I can stick it down and kind of release it as I go. So really happy with how that comes out every time. I'm really, really happy with that sticker paper. It's linked in my details if you're interested. It's like $20 for like 50 sheets or something, so highly recommend, because most of the time I'm printing on 4x6 and 3x4 journal cards, so you get a lot out of it. So I will kind of show you a close-up look of how it looks in a moment. I'm just going to smooth out a little bit more, trim off the edge, and then I'll be showing you a live look in a minute. So there you go, just a little bit more smoothing down. And good to go. You can see I'm wrapped up in my blanket there. It was really cold this day, still getting over my cold. So there you are. I'm going to get that glued down and in place, and you'll see that live look in just a moment.
Okay friends, we are finished with day 2. Hopefully my voice is sounding a little bit better for you guys. Starting to feel better after a couple days. So I'm actually really happy with how this beige 2 kind of reflects these nighttime photos here. It kind of seems like it coordinates. So I've got my 2 there. My, I keep wanting to say itinerary, but my timeline for the day. I've been adding these little chipboard flowers. I know they're from a recent kit. I'm not sure which one exactly, but I thought that the colors matched really well with the colors of the kit and this pattern paper that I've been using. Once I get further into the album, I plan to go back and add more, but for now I'm just picking like 1 or 2 a day, and then I'll add more as I go. So I added that photo of my cat Cypher. He looks so handsome. I've been adding this little strip here after that first day when I needed to, and I really love that pop of color. I added a tag here from the tag scrapbook kit that says Seeking and Finding Goodness. And then over here, I added my vellum heart for the day on this photo. This is from the Rest story kit, says #day off, which was perfect. And I needed to use, or I should say not needed, but wanted to use one of these since there's 7. I put watching because it's kind of like watching him pet the kitty. Nothing cuter than that, right? So I repeated my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as you saw. Added the chipboard. That was from a Citrus Twist Kits chipboard set that I had. Put lunch for 2 as my little note on my chipboard here, my chipboard of the day for the labels. So I put 1 color per day. Added my handwritten notes. Here I added my Tuesday tag with my ribbon. I need to start searching for some stickers to add to here. And then here, I've been wanting to at least, you know, continue to use these half circles, but I was having a hard time placing it because it's kind of like my face is cut in half, but I ended up layering it, not quite directly over the middle, but layering it with this chipboard from a really old Alley, either Day in the Life or Week in the Life kit, and layered that with this Tuesday, and I thought that was a good little embellishment cluster there. And I was kind of happy with the way it kind of pulled some teal and like a little bit of a visual triangle. Then on the back here, there's actually no embellishments on this side. Added my journaling. I'm trying to pick the colors from the kit, so I went with this reddish color here for my journaling. Added another strip along the side here because it's not quite a full 10 1/4 inch like the pocket. And then added one of those little flower chipboards here just to bring some dimension to that, and another tag here. So I ended up with 3 for this day. It says the things I did not love about today, and that was my dental visit. And then on the back here, I have a chipboard from a really old Week in Life set that's bringing out the chores. And then for this day's chipboard, I picked the one that says Home Life because I'm doing dishes and things, and I was home all day from work, so I thought that made sense. And then we're getting ready to move on to day 3, so I'm excited to keep rolling on through and see where we end up. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.